Do you know what most commonly happens after a leader has spent lots of time and lots of energy creating plans to do something great with his or her company? Sure you do. Nothing happens. Very often the plans come to nothing and the leader's reputation is damaged, and worst of all is that the leader loses confidence in his or her ability to create change in their company because nothing ever happens after plans are made. In the last step on organization, I showed you the top of this illustration for how to organize your company from the vision down to exactly what must happen today and by whom. When you got to your action plans, there was no room for anyone not to understand exactly what to do and what results they should create. However, I didn't show you the bottom of this illustration. This is where we see the key areas that are now influenced by this organizational process. Notice that the first 5 areas all relate to your people. You must surround yourself with people who are capable of carrying out the action plans that you've established. Your success depends on it, and you accomplish this with the first 3 items. And only then will you know you've got the right people in the right jobs that are well trained for the job and they're motivated to do the job. You then support that initial effort to sustain their success with the next 2 items. The last item is what keeps everyone focused. This is where you will monitor the activity, and what we will discuss now is what you will monitor. This is done by creating some simple reports that track the 4 disciplines of your business: sales, marketing, operations, and finance. All of these disciplines must work in perfect unity for your plans to be successful. And here's a couple of examples of what you could track in each of these 4 categories. For marketing, you could track lead creation, cost per lead, and your conversion rate from leads to presentations. For sales, you could track total sales per salesperson, the number of presentations that each salesperson does per day, and their close rates. For finance, you could track your sales, profits, and cash flow, and you could do so by day, by week, or by month. You could compare your budget versus your actual performance by week or by month. You could also track these financial ratios like ROI, which stands for your return on investment, or ROCE, which stands for return on capital employed, as well as your current ratio, and as well as many others specific to your company. And for operations, you could track backlog, individual job profitability, sales per employee, and overtime paid. I suggest you choose the most important 1 or 2 measurements in each of these departments. You don't want to track everything you can track. That will waste your time collecting and monitoring all this data. Track only the key indicators that drive all of the others. If those are on track, the others will likely be as well. Have those who were assigned responsibilities, which we discussed in the last newsletter, and have them report on their goals and action plans, and their progress or their lack thereof. This process will inevitably motivate the performers, and it will intimidate the non-performers. But in reality, isn't that who you want to motivate, and isn't that who you want to intimidate? If you follow this process, you will know that you have the right people in the right jobs doing the right things. And that's effective leadership.